Sir, you can start your presentation.
Okay, sir. Can you hear me? Start your presentation, sir.
So is the screen is visible?
Yeah, it's visible. You
Yeah,
start your.
yes, sir. A technical paper presentation IoT based air quality monitoring system. Yeah, my name is Nikhil S and my friend Vilas Reddy is presenting on this. And so because of the some technical issues in my mobile, the contents sheet is not showing.
Okay, proceed.
Uh, Introduction. Air pollution is caused due to the presence of particulate matter, harmful material, and biological molecules in the earth. So, in the environment, we have so many pollutant molecules. Uh, we 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 are using to calculate that molecules using a PM 2.5 and PM 10, sir. It has adverse impact on living organisms such as humans, animals, food, crops, and can also damage build and natural environment. So, because of that pollutants molecules in the air, it damages the animals, humans, and also food. Internet of Things and cloud computing are the most emerging technologies. The data stored at the cloud can be retrieved anytime, and the scenarios can be analyzed in a better way, leading to the solution for controlling air pollution to some extent. Uh, from this, we are telling that from this we can control the pollution in the air, sir. Next, the objectives of the paper is the main purpose of this paper is to compute the air pollution in the air by using PM 2.5 and PM 10. Monitor current levels as a baseline for the assessment. Check the air quality relative to the stands or limit values and to detect the impact of the individual resources. Like we can calculate the like temperature, humidity, altitude, and all this we can calculate from this model, sir. Comparison of the air quality data from the different areas and countries. Collect data for the air quality management, traffic and land use planning purpose. For land use planning purpose also we can use this. Development and test analytic instrument and to support this in the relation to the air quality limits, values and guidelines. The next is the statement of the problem. During the past decades, as the result of civilization and urbanization, there is a huge growth in pollution in the industries. Like in the decades, there is more pollution due to the like vehicles and all. Particulate matter PM is hazardous to human health. It causes acute and chronic effect to the respiratory and cardiovascular system. Fine particles are the main cause of reduced visibility, environment, and material damage. It is necessary to regulate, monitor, and report the harmful impact from the air pollution. The next slide is the methodology. Like this, the system overcome produce can be classified into 5 layers. The first layer is environment parameter which are to be measured. The second layer is the sensor measuring the parameter. The third layer is the microcontroller which process the sensed data. The fourth layer is the sensor data acquisition. The fifth layer is the representation environment. This is how from this we can calculate temperature, humidity, pressure, altitude, and PM 2.5 and PM 10 values. The next block diagram. Uh, this is how the block diagram of looks. The SDS 011 sensor and OLED display and the MQ135 requires 5 voltage, and only BMP 32 node MCU requires only 3.3 voltage of power supply. And the MQ135 is calculating two values like CO2 calibrated value and raw value. And BMP 280 is calculating temperature, pressure, altitude. And SDS 011 will calculate the PM 2.5 and PM 10 values, and this all values are given to the ESP32 node MCU. Then it is using OLED display, we will display all the values, sir. The next is the order equipment. The first one is the ESP32 node MCU. It is the main heart of this model, and it is giving control of all the parts of the model, sir. ESP32 is sensor of low cost, low power system and chip controller with integrated Wi-Fi and dual Bluetooth. Then the VCC is connected to 3.3 voltage, and SDA and SDL is connected to D1 and D2 from the BMP 280 sensor. Then SDS 011 sensor, Nova dust sensor. As I told, it's calculate PM 2.5 and PM 10 values. Is a quick react air quality sensor developed by the Nofit and spin-off from the University of Jenin. With its size, it is probably one of the best sensor in terms of accuracy. The next is the BMP 280 sensor. As I told, it's calculate temperature, pressure and altitude. Is an absolute barometric pressure sensor and also measures digital humidity, pressure and temperature. Next one is the MQ135 gas sensor. The MQ135 gas sensor is used in air quality control equipment and are suitable for detecting the measure of NOx and alcohol with smoke CO2, whereas we are using the measure to CO2
Come to your working. How do you show me the working? Explain the working part. How you people have implemented it.
So we fix that model in some traffic areas.
Some traffic
Basis.
area.
Like
Which area?
yeah,
Which
like
area?
It's a like bus stands, or example, let us take an example of a bus stand, sir. There are
No,
many
where
people
you have
who
done-
they'll be walking and many
Where you people have used it.
sir.
Where you people have
Sir,
used
right.
Which place you have tested?
So we have tested that. It's a small room, sir. Like we could not go out in this pandemic, so we just tested in a room, sir.
Okay.
Like in a living room. In that measurement, like which we have got, sir, is very less. Like compared, like PM and all is too less, sir. Like it is very minute in a living room. Then now, like first, no, sir. Like after collecting the sensors collect the data, sir.
What
And,
type of
software
gases you measured?
so
So particulate matter 2.5 and particulate matter 10, sir, which are very minute and which is not even like under the microscope also it is very difficult to be seen, sir, and it causes many respiratory problems in humans, sir.
Okay. How
And
you people
it
have
is a
tested?
big
How you people have tested it? How did you create the environment for testing?
So it's just in room, sir. Like we never created, like usually like wherever we go, there are normal Air, no, sir. In the air itself, like these particles are present
Given that MQ
wherever we go.
M35 MQ135 gas sensor will measure
So it will
measure
measure it will measure CO2 values, sir. Like it will measure two values, like calibrated value and the raw value. Like calibrated value is approximate value, and the raw value is like it will give in the form of percentage. It will give two values, sir.
135 sensor can sense ammonia, okay,
Yeah, sir.
nitrogen dioxide,
Yeah,
alcohol,
sir.
benzene, smoke,
Yeah, sir.
CO2. So which one you have tested? Which category of gas you have tested?
So like due to this COVID, we not tested. We just in living room, we just tested that this.
So there is no validation that this is better. Okay.
It's a
Okay. Next. After hardware requirements, next. What's there?
software, sir. So like we are using Arduino IDE for the like the coding purpose, and from that we are connecting to the ThinkSpeak. From the ThinkSpeak, we can from anywhere we can see the values of that surroundings, where we kept that model. From the, from other place also we can see the like how much percentage of pollution is there in that surrounding.
Come to the graph part.
So this is how the graph looks. That as the temperature is decreasing from morning to nights, increasing. Sorry, sir, increasing. This is how it is shown. And next is the pressure. And the pressure will be like some for some time it will be high, for some time it will be low. And next is the PM10. Like so in like PM10 and PM2.5 cannot be seen through eyes.
What is
So
PM?
pollutant,
What is PM? Pollutant?
particulate matter.
Particulate matter.
Yeah, sir.
What is it? Particulate means
Like some small amount of it will calculate some small amount of particles in the air, sir. For that, yeah, the present in air it will present small amount of particles, sir. Like in like in hair, human hairs, there is a small amount of particles, sir. It can also be calculated from that, sir. We cannot see through eyes, sir. PM10 and PM2.5.
conclude.
Next are the applications, sir. Checking pollutants level in the traffic tunnels and the ventilation shafts to confirm effectiveness. In traffic areas, we can calculate this, sir. And the next application is the source appointment of pollution, establishing where pollution of particular profile is coming from. The next application is mobile monitoring around an urban route to understand personal expo. Like from other place also we can check the how much percentage of pollution is there. And next application is the size selection for reference monitoring stations. Next one is indoor air quality monitoring system, like in indoors, like in industries and all we can calculate. Next one in industrial perimeter monitoring. And next one to make this data available to common man, like everyone can see these values from many by using IoT, sir. IoT, sir.
Conclude. Fine.
Next, the next advantages. Sensors are easy.
Time up. Conclude.
That much.
Conclude. So you are told about IoT based.
Yes, sir.
What are the aspects of IoT you are using? So
like from the from any other place we can see the values of that, sir. Like PM 2.5, humidity, temperature, altitude, pressure.
Have you implemented that?
Sir?
Have you implemented IoT part? I don't think. Okay. Christo sir, your questions.
Yes, sir. So thank you for your presentation. I just want to have,
Thank you, sir.
I would rather suggest you people to have a practice before coming for this international conference, because the presentation, it's not much viewable to us. Okay? The screen is not much viewable to us. Maybe you should have some practice, okay? Because it's very important. It's very important. And
Okay,
I
sir.
just want to know, like, when did you do this project?
Sir, actually, in this lockdown, sir, before the lockdown, we just had the part, sir. Then, when the
So
lockdown
before
got
the
completed,
lockdown, you completed the entire project, sir?
no, sir. Like, after one sensor, we did not get it, sir. So, we had it to wait along, sir. Then, after when this lockdown got open, we got it, and we just implemented it in a room itself, sir. And we just checked in the room itself, sir. We could not go out and check at
No,
that time,
with the
sir.
room, you
Then,
didn't get the results. You didn't get the required results. So
yes,
how
sir.
could you present this in a slide? That's what I'm asking.
We have got not accurate things, sir, but partial values we have got, sir.
But partial values were not reflected in your slide. The slide shows a different picture, and you are showing a different picture. So that's a concern I'm getting from you people. So I would suggest you go for the real part. Okay,
Okay,
you
sir.
you tested and you have got the results, and that's what your project is going to give you a picture. So that thing you should be clear about. And with
Okay,
regards to
sir.
presentation, I'm really worried about it. So maybe in the forthcoming
We'll
presentations,
next.
you should really
Yes, sir.
concentrate hard. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Next paper ID will be the 158 Varma
Sir, 115.
150.
Sir, I will share the slides.
Yeah, sure. Proceed with the presentation. Sudhir sir.
Yeah. Next, continue.
Proceed with your presentation, sir.
Sir, it is visible.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, sir. Good morning to everyone. Designing onboard vehicle diagnosis fault monitoring system using IoT is our project. Myself is Madhukar. Sir, can you hear? Sir?
Yeah, you can.
Can you?
Yeah, sure. Proceed with
These are the
the
outlets of
Only
introduction,
Madhukar is
objectives, problem
presenting.
statement.
Only Madhukar is presenting, or somebody else is joining?
no only
me.
only Madhukar sir.
So I would rather suggest you people to include only that particular name.
Okay, sir.
Because you have mentioned 4 people in your particular project and only one is presenting, then what about the contribution work of the remaining 3 people? Everybody might question.
So the people, due to network issues, they are not in.
Yeah, but still you shouldn't include these three people in your presentation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, yeah,
You can
continue.
present.
Yeah, sure.
Good morning to Anand. I'm going to explain the designing onboard vehicle diagnosis fault monitor system using IoT. This is our outline: introduction, objectives, problem statement, methodology, literature survey, block diagram, hardware and software requirements, flowchart, results, applications, advantages, and references. This is our introduction of our project. As we know, OBD in a vehicle, onboard diagnosis system in a vehicle for the purpose of monitoring, sensing, and analysis and predicting various faults in the vehicle. The main thing is to see the fault in the vehicle, where the OBD consists of clusters of ECUs equipped with multiple sensors, where the sensor will be varying depending upon the parameter to be monitored. As we know that IoT is made connected to a word, and it is used to improve the efficiency and also safety of a vehicle system. Objective: the main goal of the objective is diagnostic wireless vehicle. We can make the vehicle using the wireless system, as observe the parameter from the different sensor and location of the fault and give feedback to the cloud, where we can easily understand the fault and we can solve by a driver itself. Problem statement: as earlier and we know that small fault occurs in a vehicle, the separate technician is needed to solve the problem, where it required a separate scan tool to check the fault of a vehicle, where the fault is done. If fault is done in remote areas, it's very difficult to ensure the fault. So we are coming with this project to make a remark of that methodology. As I said earlier, it requires in olden days it requires a separate scan tool. In this system, does not require any scan tool, technician, separate technician and service center. The different parts of vehicles are connected with multiple ECUs, and then ECUs will have sensor attached with for monitoring. All ECUs are connected to the server, and it will be collecting values from the electro control units. The user can view any value of the parameter just by using a mobile phone. So the user know the condition and the performance of the vehicle when driving. The system is preloaded with optimum, maximum, and minimum value of which parameter should be shown. The system will display abnormal indication in the display. These are the literature survey. As in 2018, PSTRUS made a paper that a vehicle model based diagnosis project. In that, he made a onboard diagnosis fault using a use it for only diesel engine. As by taking the base of this, we implemented this project. In 2019, Anil Kumar has developed a model of embedded system of vehicle fault diagnosis using safety. Means using a brake, seat belt, ignition system, fuel tank. Some of the main things in vehicle is, and S. Kevin Andrews and in 2017 is in this paper he also uses onboard diagnosis system only by using a Ethernet value. These are the block diagram of our project. The main control unit is not ARM LPC 216, it is a microcontroller unit, Arduino microcontroller. These are the sensors. 6 sensors we used. LCD is for displaying the value of the sensors, and IoT and Wi-Fi for the used for the communication system. These are the hardware requirements. LM35 sensor is used for a temperature sensor. It is an integrated circuit sensor that can be used to measure the temperature with a electrical output in a degree Celsius, where 1 millivolt is equal to 1 degree Celsius. It will measure in millivolts and convert it to a degree Celsius. This brake pedal sensor, used to whether the brake system is good or bad. If it's bad, it indicates the brake is not working or it is in bad condition. This is for a pressure sensor, and we see accelerometer sensor. These two are both are working based like a brake pedal sensor only. Is in power supply. Then ESP8266 Wi-Fi model. ESP8266 Wi-Fi model are used to which controls the whole project anywhere from the anywhere, and we are using the Arduino Uno. It is main control unit for a project, and we are using for LDR sensor is to whether the headlights are working or not, and we are using a voltage sensor whether the battery is working or not, and is a level sensor for an fuel tank and water tank, and this LCD display is used to display the what and all parameters going to be done in the vehicle. These are the software requirement: embedded C, Arduino IDE, and IoT technology. Embedded C is an extension of C language. Arduino IDE is an integrated development environment. It requires a program of Arduino and IoT technology. In IoT technology, we are using a Blink app to control the prototype, where it is acts as a third party of our project. These are the flowchart of our project. First, as the project will start, it initializes the all sensor, and it will going to initialize the main control unit, that is microcontroller pin. After it initializing microcontroller, read the data from the sensor, whether it is in bad condition or good condition, read from the sensor and it update to an IoT, and we can collect the data from IoT also. These are the result what we from now we did up to now what we did the results of our project. Successfully implemented LM35 temperature sensor and successfully implemented working of level sensor using ultrasonic sensor. We are using level sensor by using ultrasonic sensor, and we are connected the Arduino to an Wi-Fi module. These are the application to detect the problem in vehicle. Daily vehicle diagnosis can be done. Getting problem statement without human effort. Current powertrain diagnostic data, driving analysis, live data monitoring can be done. And where it is a low cost used in real time application, is user friendly because there is no necessary of extra scan tool and extra technician or service center. Minimum delay of fault identification and live data update to the cloud. These are the references we have used to this project.
So your
Any doubt?
onboard vehicle diagnosis. Where is the vehicle?
Sir, we did only prototype. That's it. We are not made with vehicle. We made only for prototypes.
Okay, at least on which vehicle you would like to implement this?
Sir, like 4 wheels cars, means low cost cars, sir.
Low cost cars.
Not like BMWs that Audi.
Okay, I know.
Yes, sir.
Like Christos, sir, your questions.
No doubts, sir. We can continue for the next question.
Surendra sir, any other thing? Christian sir, any doubts?
No doubts. We can proceed to the next question.
Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. Next
Thank you.
paper item is presenting 134 from your
Yes,
sheet.
sir.
Yeah, I present your presentation.
So may I know the slide? You can see the slides.
Yeah. It's showing off. It's visible.
Good afternoon. My name is Arun and I'll be presenting our paper on trace file analysis to obtain congestion window throughput and PDR. This is the outline of our presentation. In this paper, we are trying to improve the QoS parameters of a W-band, which is used for medical transmission of data packets. Here, we focus on parameters like PDR, throughput, and we've used the NS2 simulator to simulate our network. WBAN is a special purpose sensor network that is designed to operate autonomously to connect various medical sensors and appliances that can be located either inside or outside a human body. The efficiency of this network can be determined using QoS, or quality of service. Quality of service refers to any technology that controls and manages network resources using prioritization of data types in the network in order to reduce latency, packet loss, and jitter. The data that we considered in this included sugar, pulse, BP, ECG, and EEG. PDR, or packet delivery ratio, is scientifically defined as the number of packets received by the receiver to the number of packets sent by the source during a specified time duration. It is affected by congestion window, faulty cabling, software bugs, and performances of devices in the network. Throughput is defined as the number of packets received by the receiver during a specified time duration. So it tells us how much data has been transferred in the network during that duration. It indicates the packet loss and the speed of the network. Contention window is a TCP state variable that limits the amount of data the TCP can send into the network before receiving an acknowledgement. It helps us analyze the packet loss in the network. Based on previous works that were conducted in similar projects, it was found that delay and energy consumption can be reduced by implementing dual sync node architecture, and that AODV has a better performance compared to DSDV under both TCP and UDP protocols. Paper defined a MAC protocol which aims to meet requirements that were specified but had an increase in power consumption rate as the number of nodes went higher. The research also aimed to reduce the problem of energy consumption by using data classification. In this, data was classified into urgent, semi-urgent, and normal. This classification is also being used by us. Another paper suggested virtual group formation architecture. In this, they suggested one of the fastest methods to transmit data, and it also said data has to be updated automatically. One of the papers in which we referred to also said that implementing CSMA-CA at coordinator level will avoid interference, as CSMA-CA can adjust the frame length automatically at coordinator level. The proposed topology consists of nodes acting as sensor and one node acting as a final destination node, an intermediate node depending on the distance between the sensor and the final destination node, which acted as a database. The data was captured by the sensors at a need to base requirement and was transmitted to the nearby medical database or hospital. This is the sketch of the topology that we have implemented in this paper. Here, N1, N2, N3, N4 acted as the source node and was present on the body. N5, N6 acted as the router node, and N7 was the final destination node. Here, there were 3 sinks that we added, one to each of the routers and one to the final destination node. Sync 5, which was connected to node N5, was acting as a sync for sources N1, N2, N3, N4, while Sync 6 was for N5 and Sync 7 was the final destination node, was for N6. We used a drop-tail mechanism for queuing, in which all packets were considered of equal importance and identical to each other, and once the queue was full, it will discard all the incoming packets regardless of whatever the type it was, and hence it's called drop-tail mechanism. This affects both throughput and congestion window. Out of the 3 routing protocol types, we chose DSDV, which is a reactive and on-demand protocol, and it was based on hop-by-hop mechanism, and it is a table-driven scheme in which the table contains information about the destination, the number of counts or the number of hops it had already undergone, and the sequence number to determine the previous entries. This protocol demands a periodic updation using broadcast routing. 802.11 is a set of LAN protocols that employ CSMA-CA with a set of MAC and physical layer protocols while operating in the 2.4 GHz range. 802.11e is an enhancement to 802.11a and 802.11b, which offers QoS features including data prioritization. It controls airtime using EDCA, or Enhanced Distribution Channel Access, and Hybrid Coordination Function, or HCF. Here, since we have used CSMA-CA, we have followed the MAC structure of the same. It contains 3 sections, an uplink, a downlink, and a beacon section. The beacon section is responsible for synchronization and transmission lineup of all the information for all nodes, while downlink contains information about the transmission, which is passed from coordinators to receptor nodes, and it puts together the two different sections in the uplink. The uplink consists of two sections, the contention access period and the contention free period. In the contention access period or CAP, the nodes compete with each other for transmission using the slotted CSMA-CA technique. While in CFP or contention free period, the coordinator allots guaranteed time slots to each of the nodes for transmission. CSMA-CA regulates and changes the frame length as we saw in previous work. Out of the three types of radio propagation model, we have used two-ray ground propagation model as it offered a more precise prediction over long distances compared to both free space model and shadow model. For antenna type, we had to choose between two of them, that was omnidirectional antenna and directional antenna. We preferred omnidirectional antenna as it could transmit in any direction and also had a higher directivity. Another advantage of omnidirectional was it could transmit both indoors and outdoors. The other consideration was that we defined the network in the physical layer, hence we preferred wireless PHY. RTR was used to trace packets in the network layer, while AGT was used to trace packets in the transport layer. MAC was used to trace packets in the data link layer, and link layer was accountable for the flow of packets from network layer to the MAC layer and finally to the physical layer. This is a summary of all of our node configuration parameters. Prioritization was done as I told you before, using the 802.11e, using EDC and HCF. EDCA defined multiple access categories, each of which had a specific contention window. And HCF defined the ability of 802.11 to send multiple frames, and it was used for scheduling. This formula shown here of AIFS will calculate the AIFS for each I node. The frames arriving in the MAC layer was classified based on priorities, and it also depended on media access parameters like AIFS, TW, and TXOP. TXOP is transmit opportunity. The W band characterized packets into emergency, normal, and on-demand. And on-demand was further classified into continuous and discontinuous, where continuous stood for surgical events and discontinuous stood for timely disclosure. Power save or PS is used to map ACs or access categories into based on the rate and priority. Mapping module maps the three W-band groups into WLAN ACs, and it acts as a bridge between W-band and WLAN. There are two ways to transmit these frames. The first one is to transmit every W-band frame directly. The second was to combine W-band frames into a single WLAN frame such that the degree of aggregation is less than the payload size. This is a picture of our simulation. You can see the 4 nodes and the 2 router nodes and the final destination node. Contention window, as I said before, keeps increasing in size, and here the size increases linearly over the rate of 1 by contention window till the timeout occurs or the network reaches its limit. This is the graph that we obtained from our results. The graph is divided into 3 sections. The first section is the slow start phase. In this, the size is initially set to 1 MSS or 1 maximum segment size. And for every acknowledgement that was received, it increased the contention size by 1 MSS. In congestion avoidance phase, which is the next phase, the window size kept increasing by 1 for every acknowledgement that was received. The last phase is the congestion detection phase, where packet loss was detected. Thus, it will cause a sharp decrease from its peak value. PDR and throughput was determined by finding the number of packets that was received, sent, and the overall time range. And this was determined using the trace file format. This is a trace file format where the first column, where you can see SNR, depicts the event type that has occurred. S stands for send, R stands for receive. The other two possibles are dropped and forwarded. The second column represents time, while the third column is for node number. The fourth column shows the packet type, which is AGT for transport, RTR for route. It can also show MAC type and drop. The fifth column is for the global sequence number, and the packet details, whether like it's TCP file or acknowledgement file or UDP file, is given in the sixth column. The next column shows the packet size in bytes. The eighth column has 4 hexadecimal numbers in square brackets. The first hexadecimal number shows the required time to send datagrams in seconds. The second hexadecimal is the media access ID for source node, and the third one is that for the receptor node. The last, which is usually 800, shows the media access type, which is Ethernet type underscore IP. The ninth column depicts the internet protocol transmitting and receiving address and the time to live of the packet. The last one shows the sequence number and acknowledgement number respectively. From the trace file format, we tabulated the results that you can see here. Here, we took the range from 0 to 15 milliseconds and divided into 5 equal intervals. We found out when the first TCP packet was transmitted and when the last TCP packet was transmitted, the number of send events, the number of receive events, and the number of receive events with agent trace. From those results, we formed this graph, and we obtained our PDR as 98.74 compared to the previous PDR of 97.02, while we got a throughput of 371 compared to the previous 281.2 kbps. In conclusion, I would like to say we have implemented a WBAN with CSMA CA using 802.11e protocol. We tabulated our results and got a PDR of 98.74 and 370.993 as our throughput. This definitely showed an improvement from our previous values, saying that we had a bit more efficiency compared to the other papers. These are the references that we use. Thank you.
Justin sir, any doubts?
Sudhir sir, if you have any doubts, you can ask them. I would rather join next.
Sudhir sir. Hello, Sudhir sir, can you hear me?
No doubt, sir.
Fine. So, with regards to this presentation, I would rather suggest at the beginning when you discuss about WBAN or maybe BTR, you should have an introduction about it. Okay, a short introduction on maybe the usage, so that the audience will know better. So you just started with WBAN. What is it actually? And
Sir, I
you
cannot hear you clearly.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, now I can.
Yeah, fine. So when you're starting the presentation, I would rather suggest you discuss something about PDR or maybe WBAN. Maybe a short description is essential for the audience. Okay. So
Okay.
also, can you suggest me like the difference or maybe the advantages of AODV with respect to DSDV?
Sir, actually, from the paper that we received, the paper compared the DSDB and AODB with for both TCP and UDP protocols. And from there, we found out that AODB is a highly efficient one.
Okay. So how? How? In terms of which factors?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Hello?
hear you, ma'am. I can hear you.
Can you repeat the question, sir? There was a network issue.
Okay. So actually, like how or which factors determine the advantage of AODV versus DSDV? That was my question.
Sir, it depends like on the whether you're actually using wireless or WBAN, wireless or wired network, and then how is the information being broadcasted? Like each node needs to know from the source to the destination. Each node needs to know how exactly do they have to follow the path. So suppose let's say it comes from node A to node B, and node B has to know whether it has to go to C or D.
Okay.
So we felt that AODV gives the better information.
So with regards to results, yes, of course, it was really good. Okay. I hope you have really worked and maybe researched on the very good research on the particular topic. But still, comparison with regards to comparison, but more details can be added. Okay, when it is concerned with comparison. So after that, it's okay. The presentation is good.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
over to you, Sujit sir, if you have any doubts.
Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Surendra sir, any other thing that you have? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Surendra sir. Can you hear me, sir?
ಹಲೋ ಆದರ್ಶ್ ಸರ್ ಸುಧೀರ್ ಸರ್
ರವಿ ಹೇಳಪ್ಪ. ನಾನು
ಸರ್
4
ಅದೇ
ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋಣ, ಮಿಗ್ದವ್ರು ಲಾಗೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ.
ಸರ್
ನಾವು 4 ಜನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಇರೋಣ, ಮಿಗ್ದವ್ರು ಲಾಗೌಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ.
ಸರಿ ಸರಿ ಸರ್. ಓಕೆ
ರವಿ, ಯು, ಸರ್.
ಓಕೆ
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಸರ್.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಾಗೌಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಹೇಳಿ ಸರ್.
ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Yeah,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
How was the presentation, sir?
Yeah, it was good, sir. But the thing is that I think next time maybe the participants can on the video so that we can really know what they are actually doing. Because some of them were, going through the notes, preparatory notes, and they are actually reciting what it is given in the notes. Maybe they could have a real-time presentation. Apart from that, yeah.
Only working model should be taken into consideration.
Yes. Apart from that, it is good, sir. It is good. It is really good. Everybody has come out really well with the project.
Ravi sir, any few words about today's conference?
ಹಲೋ ಸರ್ is nice, all the 6 papers will be nice presentation, but a few of the 8th semester students, that's why struggling to present the some first time, that is the in few is the very good, actually that's the my side, sir.
Okay, which are the best paper from your side, sir? Which are the best? Because
I have already sent the marks to Ravi. Sir, you also send the marks, the Excel sheet, you fill it up and give it, sir.
Yes, sir. Have you sent the Excel sheet, sir?
Yeah, I already sent to Ravi.
Adarsh sir,
Because
No,
I
I
couldn't
did not.
see any Excel sheet in my attachment. I just had 2 attachments. I couldn't see any Excel sheet attachment in my mail.
No, but sir, you can share in a WhatsApp also, sir.
Fine. So can you send me your WhatsApp? Yeah, can I send it to Nanjesh sir or can I send it to Adarsh sir?
You can send to Nanjesh sir also, sir.
Nanjesh sir, fine. So I'll send it to Nanjesh sir regarding with the rest.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But I'm okay with whatever the
please
name
to
is.
mention the track number.
Yes,
That
definitely.
is very easy to identify.
Yes, definitely.
ರವಿ, ನಾನು ಕಳ್ಸಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ,
yes sir.
ಅದು ತಗೊಂಡು ಇದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಆವ್ರೇಜ್ ತಗೋಬೇಕು.